Greetings, Internet. My name is Chris, and this is my guide for veteran Imperial City Prison. So I just completed this a few days ago, and this is actually footage from that time where I completed it a few days ago. It's quite a long video. I can see here from my timeline, it says I think 29 minutes. And that is simply because the entire thing took us 50 minutes to run through, compared to the recent video I did with White Gold Tower that took us about 28 minutes, 30 minutes or so to run through, with hard mode and everything. And that is simply because the Imperial Prison is just a lot longer. You can see the groups are a little bit different as well. There are generally a lot more ads in the groups, but you don't have the Sivkin healers anymore. Instead, you have necromancers. And you don't have the annoying guys with the shields either. But you can see these Sivkin still have between 400,000 and 500,000 health, which is, I mean, it's quite a lot. So if you're wondering why it takes us so long to kill some of the groups, like the ad groups here, that is simply just because of that, because everything just has a lot of health in Veteran. You can see we're coming up to the first boss here, the Overfiend. Now, the mechanic for this guy is actually quite simple. The tank want to basically just point him away from the group, because he does this frontal attack that will destroy you. But other than that, the boss simply just spawns these ads at certain percentages of health, basically. You can see here, I'm on my Werewolf Templar, trying this out. I haven't actually DPS'd this before. As I said, this is my first completion of the prison. And in certain ways, it's not too different from the normal version of the prison. But I'll get into that when we get to the points where it's different. So if you've done the normal version of Imperial City Prison, you should be alright, for the most part. But yeah, so you can see here there's a lot of ads, and at this point I'm basically just AoEing, so I both damage the boss and the ads. And you can see here I get smacked by a few attacks at the same time. There's nothing really you can do about that. There was a leap on the ground that I didn't actually see. The main boss, the Overfiend, will do this this AoE where he just hops into the air and then lands again. At a certain point of health, I think it's about 40%, 50% or so, you will get this Harvester. It has about 800,000 health, as you can see, and you basically just want to kill this, because the Harvesters are extremely annoying. And they can do a lot of damage to your group. But yeah, so you just kill the ads when they come, you go back to the boss, so on. Side note, you can burn the boss down, but the ads will not disappear when you kill them. So they will still be there. So if you want to burn the boss, you can do that, but you might take a death, because there's gonna be about 25 or 30 NPCs. But you can see here, we're both just AoEing. I think the other DPS is a Magic and Nightblade. So we're both just AoEing. I'm Spin to Win. He's Sap Essence. It's basically our preferred AoE attacks, I think. And then we just kill off the last few stragglers here. Make sure we loot the boss. I think, let's see, I think there's about 6 bosses in this. Six boss fights. Yeah, I think that's the right number. Yeah. All right. So I decided to show you this group as well, because this is one of the different enemies you'll encounter in the prison. These Flesh Atronachs. And now the thing with these Flesh Atronachs is that you have about, I think, 2 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes before they go berserk. And when they go berserk, they will, I think they will do, well, they will literally one-shot you with any attack, but they'll do between 100 to 200,000 damage with their normal attacks, and they'll speed up. So you definitely want to target these. But you can see we kill both the group and the Flesh Atronach. Alright, we're coming up to the second boss. This guy is called Ibomez the Flesh Sculptor. You can see here we're just chatting, and I'm sitting in side chat because I'm not using my microphone for this. But yeah, so this is the second boss, so this is the one where most people will have troubles. And what we do for this boss here is that we literally stack on top of him and just AoE. And there's a very good reason for that you'll see while we do this. You can see I left quite a lot, maybe a little bit too much intro to the boss fight here. You can't hear it because I've turned the volume off, but we're talking at this point, determining exactly what to do. But we end up doing the strategy where everyone stacks on the boss, the tank taunts all the Flesh Atronachs that comes out of the pool, and we just AoE. You see here, first I'm just trying to get some damage on the boss. I put my dots on, all that stuff. Oh yeah, if you're interested in this build that I'm running, I have it on my channel, so go check that out. This is a werewolf build. So yeah, there's only a few things really to keep in mind about this boss fight when you're doing this, and that's pretty much just like keep spamming your AoE button and you'll be fine. No, there's a few things, but when we're doing this strategy, it makes the fight extremely easy. Basically, when the boss does the animation where he knocks someone down, you just want to interrupt him when it's possible. He'll do a few attacks and it will say someone is being tenderized or something like that. In our group, we literally just called out whenever that happened. It's like, oh, I'm being tenderized. Please interrupt the boss. That sort of stuff. And you can see here we're AoEing, and as soon as the Flesh Atronachs die, I hit Repentance to give myself some stamina back. Obviously, if you're not playing a stamina tune with like a stamina Templar, I mean, you could hopefully have another Templar in the group that will hit Repentance for you. You see there was the Tenderize that we interrupted. But yeah, so we're literally just AoEing, and it makes the fight really simple, because that means you don't have to worry about the ads really, because you're killing them when they go into the pool, when they become Flesh Atronachs, I mean. Because otherwise the mechanic of this boss is extremely frustrating and really hard, because you have to throw the grenades on all the ads that walk to the pool, and you have to make sure you kill the Flesh Atronachs really quickly when it happens. So yeah. You could alternatively just have single target the boss, and I think it would probably have worked fine with this group here, but it makes it a little bit more risky, because AoEing like this means that we can, like for example right now I'm hitting 4 targets, I'm hitting 3 Flesh Atronachs and the boss, so in that sense AoEing is a little bit smarter, and it makes your DPS look nice, because you're hitting so many targets. But this is definitely something you could do if you're having troubles with this fight, or if you just want an easy clear. Get some good group DPS, some good group AoE DPS, I mean, and just do this tactic. It's super simple, and there's really not much difficulty to it. You see here, he goes down. Very simple. I will say this was our second attempt, but that was mainly because I tried to use Werewolf for the first attempt. And Werewolf is not very good for AoEing, unfortunately. This is another type of enemy you'll encounter here, and these are the Vigilant Watchers. There's about 4 of them, I think, in the entire... let's see, I think, yeah, 4. I'm pretty sure it's 4. I think there's 4. But yeah, there's 4 of these Watchers in the entirety of the prison. There's actually an achievement to not be spotted by them. When they're patrolling around, they'll have this green light, but if they spot you, they'll make a very loud noise and turn red. And that's what you can see right here. And then they spawn all these ads that you have to kill. So yeah, there's an achievement to avoid all 4 of them. It's really a huge fucking pain in the ass to do that achievement, I will say. So there's that. But you can do that achievement on normal, fortunately. At least as far as I know. This is the 3rd boss, the Gravelight Sentry. See, for this one I go Werewolf, but this is one of the few fights where I actually use my Werewolf capabilities. There's nothing really much to this fight. It's like fighting an oversized whatever these things are called, because it has pretty much exactly the same attacks. It has the frontal eye beams. It has the AoE that knocks you back. You can hold block to avoid getting knocked back, by the way. And that's pretty much it. Besides from that, there are, I think, 5 necromancers around the room. 5 or 6 necromancers that will keep spawning. I think these like skeletons, and they'll keep making things pop out of the goo around the little platform here. That's the circles you'll see on the ground. If it hits you, I think it stuns you and does damage, like right there. So it's not really a very technical fight, and it's not very difficult. So yeah, it's not really much to say about this. We just go, like, we just burn the boss down, and then take out the necromancers after that. So that's pretty much the way you deal with it. I think it's kind of funny how, like, these dungeons have incredibly hard boss mechanics, and then you have a few bosses that are just like really simple. Like the Overfiend and the Gravelight Sentry here are just very simple fights. Alright, you can see I just skipped through all that because it was just pretty simple. Nothing really tactical about it. Okay, we're at the 4th boss. This is the Flesh Abomination. Now, this guy has some interesting mechanics. First of all, watch out for red circles. Alright, so you see he starts off with 2 of these necrotic horrors. Now, if the necrotic horrors are close to each other, they will overlap their little poison circles. And if you stand in 2 different poison circles, like 2 poison circles from 2 different horrors, you will pretty much die immediately, I think. I think you just die immediately, because you get something called, I think, overdose, or something like that. That will just kill you immediately. So that's why the tank only taunts one of the horrors, and then we let the other one roam around. We kill the roamer first, then the one tank is taunted, and then we just kill the horrors whenever they spawn. You see, what killed me right there was the fact that at one point you all get a circle underneath your feet, and when that happens, one of the 4 of you will get this circle around them that will spawn zombies. And I was just in a bad place, and I got killed by the circles immediately when it spawned. There's another thing here. This is the another one-shot mechanic in this fight. There's 4 horrors that will pop up from the ground, and the boss will slam the ground, explode them all, and if you're within any of the 4 red circles, you die immediately. So yeah. And it's basically, it's a little bit of a slow fight, because you can't really just burn the boss, because then you end up with too many horrors and your group will just wipe. So it's very much about putting dots on the boss, killing the horrors when they spawn, going back to boss, killing the horrors, and just keep doing that. You see someone in the back has the circle around them. But this is actually a really entertaining fight, I think, because you have to keep moving around, but the boss isn't moving around. Because, like, I hate the fights where the boss keeps moving around and you have to move around as well. Like, for example, with the Engine Guardian in Dark Shade. That's probably one of my least favorite fights, just because it's like it's so hard to get damage on the boss because there's so much stuff going on. But anyway, so I really like this fight. I think this is probably one of the most entertaining fights in this dungeon. You can see there again, no one actually died that time to the 4 horrors, the insta-gib. But you can see damage is extremely slow on the boss. He does also have, I think, 3.4 million health. I can't actually really see that number. It's extremely small. I think it's 3.4 million. But yeah, it's basically just repetition. You see, now it's me with the circle around me, and I do something stupid here in a few seconds. So you can see I'm AoEing to get all the zombies to me, but the tank is pulling them away from me, which is actually a little bit of a hindrance to my damage dealing capabilities. So I try to jump over the circle, but I actually bump into one of the zombies, which kills me because mid-air is still in AoE, so like you can't jump over them really, because you still take the damage, which is enough to kill me at 18,000 health or 17,000, almost 18 actually. You see here, 2 people get insta-gibbed by the Horror explosions. So fortunately I'm a Templar, so my fast rest helps a little bit. As for the tank, you basically just want to taunt this guy in a corner, because like away from everyone, because he has a lot of frontal attacks without any visual cues. Well, not visual cues, but like you know, like the red circles and stuff. You can see here he gets to a low amount of health, and we just burn him down to the end. And that was that fight. It's not too difficult, but it certainly has a lot of stuff to be aware of. You can also see I got some epaulets of the Scathing Mage there. This is the 5th and second to last pair of bosses. I don't know what these are called. These are like the Lord Warden's Elite or something. But there's 4 enemies. There's a Knight, there's a Berserker, a Templar, and a Necromancer. We just AoE everyone, because that pretty much seems to be the best thing to do here. And you'll see why as soon as we start killing some of them. So one thing you want to keep in mind is that the Necromancer would spawn this totem. The totem makes it so all the 4 bosses take very, very little damage. And you also want to make sure you keep interrupting the Templar. On normal, what I would do is you should just like burn down the Templar. But because of the introduced mechanic on this fight in Veteran, you kind of want to kill all of them around the same time. So you'll see here, I won't spoil it until one of the enemies die, but you will see here in a few moments as soon as something dies. You can see someone getting pretty low now. Knight is close to dying, the Berserker as well. See right here, Berserker goes down. Oh, what's that? Knight goes down. And you can see when they die, they turn into these weird shadow-like creatures. They will have the exact same attacks as before, but they just can't be targeted. They can't be killed, they can't be taunted. They just pick a random person and just go for them. And that makes this fight a lot more difficult, especially if you're not prepared for it. And that's also why you kind of want to try and kill them as close together as possible, to avoid having to like drag around, you know, like 3 of these shades while you have 1 left that you're working on. But other than that, it's pretty much the exact same fight as with normal mode. I don't know if they actually it looked like the bosses just went enraged there. I think they might have, but I don't know if there's actually an enraged timer on the bosses. It's not something we encountered on any of the other fights. You see now there's 3 shadows, and then we kill the last one. Pretty cool fight though, I must say. I kinda like that fight. Okay, this is the last one, and we're doing it on hard mode. So this is the Lord Warden Dusk, Veteran hard mode. Yep. I don't actually know what the added mechanic with hard mode is. To be honest, like I think it's something like I don't know if it's actually true though, but like I think the added mechanic is that the Dark Light, which is when he jumps into the air and tosses a ball down onto you, will one-shot you. I think that's one of the new things. And then I think the orb slowing you is also another one. So you can see there's these portals on the ground. Now you want to avoid going into these pretty much the entire fight, except for a certain moment when he jumps in the air, and this is when he does his Dark Light attack. So Dark Light is basically like a bomb that he tosses down. That one you can see right there, and everyone has to get in a portal, or well, people just have to get in a portal to survive. So when you fall in a portal, you actually come out through the ceiling, and you have to synergize in order to avoid taking fall damage. Now you'll see here I actually go in the portal, but I'm really quick about it, so I come back down and go straight back into the same portal again. Now the reason why I do this is to make sure the portal disappears and he spawns a new one, because each portal has the capacity for 2 people, but it doesn't renew, so it's like one person will go through, there's room for one more person in that portal. If I hadn't done that, it would have meant that next time he does his dark light, and if nobody else has gone through it, it would mean that he would essentially just kill one player, because one player wouldn't be able to go through. You see here again, I had to drop my werewolf transformation because I can't synergize when I'm in werewolf form. This is another thing with veteran. I don't know if this is hard mode specific because I haven't actually tried it without hard mode, but there will be 4 shades just like in normal, but you can only damage one of the shades. So I don't know if this is hard mode specific or just veteran specific, so it might be hard mode specific is what I'm guessing. So this, you can already see, is kind of a hectic fight. There's a lot of shit happening. There's meteors from the sky, there's orbs to slow you and do damage. There are portals on the ground you don't want to step in, only at a certain amount of, a certain specific time. And there's just like, God, at some point there'll be like 10 of those freaking orbs, and they will slow you down everywhere you are, and it's really hard to get to a portal if you're too far away from it. So it really becomes like a whole fight about knowing where the fuck you're going. So like right here, I'll miss the portal because I went for that one first, but someone else went in it, and I wasn't fast enough because I kept getting slowed and all that stuff. So you can see that is one of my deaths. I'm dying a few times on this fight. I think 4 or 5 times in this fight. It certainly isn't an easy fight to survive, that's for sure. Especially not on hard mode with the one-shot mechanic. Again, I'm not actually sure if the one-shot mechanic is hard mode specific. He also does this thing, which I fucking hate. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like he turns his hand into like this blaster, and he just goes pew pew pew, and if you don't move around and dodge roll, it will fucking mess you up because it does just a ton of damage. See, I go in a portal, but the other portal disappeared because I only had capacity for one person, which meant that the other guy couldn't go in it, which meant that he died. So that's how it is. It's like almost like you have to have a math game. You can see 2 people went through that portal, which means it just disappeared, which is kind of good actually. Like if you see, like if you're doing this fight and you see someone go in a portal, you should jump after them most of the time, because odds are he'll spawn another portal before he jumps into the sky. And you see, it's already getting really hectic. People keep dying. So we have to keep trying to rest people while also trying to stay alive and trying to do the portal mechanic and everything. You see here 2 people die. It's a hard fight, but I will say we did it on the first try, and only 2 people had done the fight before. I had obviously done it on normal, so had the other guy, but yeah, I mean, it's very, very hard to stay alive. That's certainly true. But it's also a very good group we had here, so yeah. I'm talking a lot here, by the way, because this is a really fucking long clip. This is like, I think 9 minutes, just this last boss fight here. It's pretty crazy. He has 4.5 million health, and there's no easy way to really damage him. You can see there I died again. That must have been my 4th death, I think. And that was the hand blast that just fucked me up. And you see I'm staying dead here because he does the dark light. See 2 people, or one person dies, so I go over to rest him up. So I mean, but this is a really cool fight. I think there's a shit ton of stuff happening, but it is a cool fight. Probably the best fight in the game at the moment, I think. I'm not really too much of a fan of the White Gold Tower Molekina fight, but I like this fight because the mechanic is cool. One thing, by the way, for this fight here, like you can see, I'm full melee. I'm in my usual werewolf setup, but it's not very good for this fight, as you can probably tell. The two-hander is alright. The dual wield is completely useless. So what you should do for this fight is go ranged. So I should have used a bow for this fight, and I think Dragon Knights would be really good for this as well, because dots are just generally really good for fights where you have to like keep moving around, because you can put dots on a target and you don't have to refresh them for like 10 or 15 seconds. I see again I got destroyed by the hand cannon or whatever, hand blaster. I don't know what it's actually called. I didn't actually look at the death recap, but it's a huge pain in the ass, that's for sure. See again I stay dead, and then go up here, I think. Oh right, I was busy typing, of course. You see, the way we actually end this fight is kind of hilarious. Because we end up, I think all of us end up dying except one person, and he's soloing the last 3%. See here, I pop my werewolf, I just get slowed by everything. It's horrible. I try to put dots on him, I try to put my bleeds and everything on him, do as much damage as possible, but I know that as soon as I have to go in a portal, I have to go out of my werewolf form. You can see right here, because werewolf as it is means you cannot synergize when you're in the form, which is really stupid in my opinion. The only thing you can synergize is the feed. As you see here, I'm trying to get people up. I don't know if I should get killed here. Yeah, I do, I think. Yeah, because he does the fucking hand cannon. That killed me 3 or 4 times. It's so ridiculous. I'm not really sure how to deal with that attack. I think maybe annulment could be good for it, possibly. And you see here, there's one guy left. That's 5%, not 3. And he's just on his own. You see, the main boss doesn't do too much damage when he's not doing a special attack. And you can see he just barely makes it into a portal. And then he falls through the ceiling, lands on the ground, keeps working on the boss. And you see right now he's just trying to stay alive, and there kills the boss. Anyway, this was quite a long video. I hope it was useful though. Hopefully you can use this to help you get through the veteran version of Imperial City Prison. It's definitely probably the hardest dungeon in the game right now. So hopefully this will help you out. If it did, make sure to leave a like. Anyway, thanks for watching.